Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to put the end to a topic that was going crazy last week. And we're talking about the whole Meek Mill situation and saga. I wanted to step back, man, after making the two videos that I made and really just look at who the players are in this situation. What was really driving it and who was behind the situation, as opposed to just slamming on Meek like everybody else was doing. Because Meek Mill obviously doesn't understand the social media game. You know what I mean? Yeah, you might say, hold up, man. Meek Mill got a bigger following than you. Meek Mill is bigger than most people on social media. Those people are fans or people who watch him to see the car crash, or they're people who are watching just because they, latched on to him before all of his L's in music. You know what I mean? Like, I can't say he took L's in music, except for that album that he did with Rick Ross, but that's besides the point. But all of his L's on social media, I should say, man, because Meek Mill is an interesting character. People actually like his music and gravitate towards the gritty street message that he portrays in his music, and he tries to translate that over to social media for some reason, and he doesn't understand the rules, and that doesn't adapt. Because the people who comment the loudest on social media, the people who watch things and analyze things on social media, 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, they are not street people. They don't believe in those rules. They don't abide by those rules. They're just here for the memes and likes. They're here for the laughs. They're trying to see what gets under other people's skin and how could they exploit that for either commentary or either exploit that for laughs themselves, man. And that has been social media since the chat room days. You know what I mean? That is since the invention of trolling, you know? And Meek does not get that, yo. You got to silence a troll early by not responding. And it's amazing that somebody of Meek Mill's caliber, or somebody at the heights of his career, still doesn't understand what a troll is and when not to respond on social media. He responds to everything, and it makes every single move Meek Mill does predictable, and it makes everybody who wants to make him look silly on social media pick him, and he becomes easy prey because they know he's going to respond. They know how he's going to react. They know what's coming from Meek Mill, and they know how people are going to perceive it, but Meek does it, man. People in his circle around him, they probably fail him the most because they think, I'm pretty sure they encourage his responses like, oh, Meek, yeah, you told him you look real street, you look real hard. But dog, that is not what people on social media read these things as, man. Sometimes it's best to just not say anything at all. Just keep it quiet. Don't broadcast your moves. Don't respond to any of this. But Meek fails to realize that, man. So in closing, I got to say these things. All right, so this part I really got to get out there, man. And this is a message directly to Meek. I hope he hears this someday, man. Your moves are too transparent, man. Everything that you do can be forecasted. I swear to God, Meek Mill has to be the worst chess player in the history of playing chess, man. Because little does he know, or obviously he has to know, that DJ Akademiks and Whack 100, they don't like you, dude. They don't like anything about you, and they can't wait to create these situations to where you look like, where you humiliate yourself through your own actions. So that way, they can step back and not look like the bad guys, and they can play you right into their hands. And you always play into people's hands. You did it with Drake, and you do it every time on social media. The smart response to those accusations about the whole Diddy thing and everything would have just been a post that said cap. Even DJ Akademiks himself came out and gave that recommendation after he roasted you. He was like, yo, he could have just said cap and just left it at that. Now you released a project, you tried to piggyback off a loss and turn it into a win. And once the album sales come out, I think they said it's projected at like 5,000. People are going to laugh at you again, reigniting the cycle of you looking like a clown, man. And I'm not saying Meek Mill is a clown, and I'm not dissing DJ Akademiks, because what he's doing is genius, because everybody knows how Meek Mill is going to react to something he sees on Twitter. He's going to immediately fly off the handle. It's going to be 20, 30 different tweets. It's like he has no understanding of how to play chess or how to play these moves in social media. That's why people commonly say, hey, somebody get Meek's phone, or somebody take Meek's phone away, because dude is not too bright at social media. You know what I mean? You would think with all his millions of followers, millions of dollars, successful artist, he would understand the social media game by now. You see Usher hasn't responded to this because Usher, this is beneath him. This all should be beneath you, man. And he doesn't get it when other people do. So they play into it and they see on an individual level, they could actually get under Meek Mill's skin, and that shouldn't even be possible. Your skin should be Teflon because you're dealing with a lot of money and a lot of things at that level, but you consistently bring yourself down to everybody's level on social media when you don't have to. It's the most frustrating thing for anybody who actually likes Meek Mill's story or Meek Mill's come up or Meek Mill's music, man. You make it hard for people to be a fan of you and associate themselves with your music because now they look lame for saying, yeah, I like Meek, when people don't view you as a big dog like they should, man, because you're easily coming down to other people's level, man. Hopefully that makes sense. What's crazy about this whole situation is Meek Mill really has to let social media go when it comes to responding to any and every accusation, man, because he's letting people get under his skin that should have no even way of getting under his skin. And then he tries to sound tough with his replies, but it ends up sounding little, you know, it ends up sounding small. It's like, what? Like, we don't think you're cool for saying that the governor told you to stop or whatever. And you definitely don't look cool talking about going to another grown man's house to confront him. Number one, that is a dangerous thing to do. That's stupid. You know what I mean? Half the kids on social media see that's dumb. You know what I mean? Nobody should ever attempt or go to somebody else's house in order to confront them about something that they said on social media. Are you crazy? Like, think about that. That goes for any normal person out there in the world. You would not, who would say, hey, you said this about me on social media, I'm gonna go to your house? Are you crazy, man? It just looks unhinged, man. And it makes Meek Mill look lame, man. He puts himself in the lame category. Now, what would have been a good move? Okay, this is a good move. Meek Mill, once all the accusations started flying, all he had to do was say, Cap, I'm speaking to my attorney. And that's it. Nothing more than that needs to be said. Or if he wanted to promote his album, don't drop that mixtape or that 5-pack that he dropped the week of the controversy. That's not going to help it, bro. That's going to make it worse. I'd have moved the date to 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, when the news cycle about that is over and stale. That's when I would have dropped it. And still, your name is kind of somewhere, so people would be like, oh, hey, 2 weeks later, let's see if he addresses it on here. And you don't, but you have people thinking that you're going to address it, man. I just don't get, man. I don't get Meek Mill's moves in these situations. I don't understand it. There's no strategy behind it. Even with the 6ix9ine thing. Remember, 6ix9ine lured him in by running up on him in a parking garage with security. Now, anybody who looked at that situation saw that 6ix9ine showed up with security and he's screaming behind security. You know what I mean? And Meek Mill has security. So he gets to paint the narrative however he wants to, as opposed to Meek Mill just saying, hey, man, you got security, or calling it out for what it was and deading it. He played into his hands in that situation too, man. And people see that Meek Mill is not too bright when it comes to strategy, and they're always going to use this against him. Hopefully someday he wises up and understands that, yo, you ain't got to react to everything. And sometimes taking aback and collecting your thoughts about your next move is better than just making a move and crashing out all the time on social media because it hurt you in the Drake situation. I'd say you didn't really take a L in the 6ix9ine situation. Whack 100 tried to push that to be bigger than it was. But dog, these are not street people you're dealing with. They're internet people, and they obviously know the internet game better than you do. But y'all tell me what y'all think about this situation, man. This been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.